Hello and welcome back to Onto the Ball. You're joining me, Scott Nichol, and I'm here as always with Travis Morgan. My Liverpool co-host James O'B can't make it, but he'll be back for the next one. We're going to preview the Wolves versus Liverpool weekend Saturday 3 p.m. clash. And I've got to admit, I'm not looking forward to it. I feel like we've played Wolves about 19 times in the last 3 weeks. It's not a game. Well, to be honest, I'm about to say it's not a game I look forward to going away. I don't look forward to going away to any game at the minute as a Liverpool fan. We're just awful away from home. And my esteemed colleague Travis must be rubbing his hands together at the thought of another Liverpool defeat.
Michael Owen style, Michael Owen.
I don't know, Trav. What can I say? The games come thick and fast when you're in the mud and you're at the bottom of the league, or it feels like you're at the bottom of the league, like we are. We just done the Man United stream and we touched on the transfer window. What would you rate Liverpool's transfer window out of 10? Because obviously, Man United were linked with Cody Gakpo heavily. You didn't get him. He's come to Liverpool. He's played 5 games now. And I did say I'll reserve judgment on him until he's played 5 to 10 games. He's played 5 now. I'm going to rate the window a scathing 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I know you'd be like, come on, it's Cody Gakpo. Give him a chance to shine. He was maybe the right player, but in the wrong position at the wrong time when we are absolutely desperate for midfield reinforcements. As a rival fan, you must be rubbing your hands together thinking it's another important decision that looks, although it's early days, it looks like it's going wrong.
I was going to agree with you and say it too as well.
Yeah.
I genuinely was like, it just, you would have rather them save that money, sign no one and put it towards Bellingham. Like literally, like what was the point really in the Gakpo thing? Like, I know you had injuries up top, Diaz, Jota, Firmino. But like you said, he's come in and he's not really done anything. So he's not made your team worse, but he hasn't made it better. And it's like you've got other players playing out of position because he's in the team. Like you've got Nunez
to accommodate him.
Yeah, it's just weird. I just don't really get what's going on, to be honest. Yeah, so in terms of the transfer window, the fans got every right to like voice how frustrated they are over it. Like they would have been frustrated if they said they're not doing any business at all, but you would have understood if they said their stance was we're going to wait into the summer and we're going to go sort of big, and that was the rumors. But to say that they were active in the market and they've just bought in totally the wrong position, because it's not like even up for debate. It's very glaringly obvious that the midfield is the issue for Liverpool, that the prioritized issue at the moment that needs addressing. It's the disconnect between the back four and the front line, like from both sides, from your offense and your defense as well. Like it's what's killing your team at the moment, and whatever sort of combination Klopp seems to put together just isn't working at the moment. Whether he goes with 2 sitters and a more of an advanced midfielder, whether he goes for 2 box-to-boxers, just whatever he does, it's just not working at the minute. The mix and the blend, and the worst thing is that you've not really got any injuries in there. Do you know what I mean? There's no injuries in the midfield, really. Everyone's pretty much fit. You've got Fabinho fit, you've got Thiago fit, you've got Hendo fit, you've got Elliott fit, Ox has been fit, Keita played last week. He's tried different things, and none of it seems to be.
Curtis Jones is fit.
Jones is fit, exactly, and that the combinations that he's trying, none of them seem to be working, and that's the worrying thing now, because you've not added in there. You've got this midfield now until May without a shadow of a doubt. Like there's no deviation on that. So I don't know what he's going to come up with tactically, but again, like I said, I don't think this performance level's sustainable.
The thing is I know I'm quite new to Twitter, and you've told me to take things with a pinch of salt and don't get too immersed in it, because there's all varying degrees of education, opinion, scope. even people with different motives, especially against the owners. But can you imagine the fan base if we didn't even sign Cody Gakpo? If the full January came and went, and Chelsea are buying every player that is available, even those that aren't available, they're paying release clauses to make them available. But it would have just been nice. It would have been nice for the Liverpool fans if Cody Gakpo would have hit the ground running, just like Luis Diaz. But it hasn't happened. But, as it turned out, obviously Nunez picked up a knock and missed a game or two. And then the last 2 games he's been on the bench. So Gakpo's been starting down the centre. And then when Nunez comes on, he's getting shunted out to the left. So, yeah, it's all a bit of a mess. And I agree with you. Klopp's trying different things that they're just not coming off. And it's infuriating some of the fan base even because I'm sure there's not any sane person wants to turn against Klopp. But at the same time, when a formation or a tactic is selected and gone for and it doesn't work, and not just doesn't work, but it's completely ineffective, he's got to take his share of criticism. I'm not going to be one of them that's going to criticize him, certainly not on a podcast. Like I said before, we might have 10,000 subscribers one day. I'm not going to badmouth him in front of them that could get shared and make me look like a anti-Klopp fool. But yeah, I think we've obviously spoke about it in the group chat a lot. There's more questions than answers at the minute, and Saturday is going to be the same again. Devastating news that Ibrahima Konate has picked up an injury, and he looks like he's going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. He's a doubt for the Real Madrid game in 3 weeks. So that brings us on to Gomez and probably Matip, if Nat Phillips doesn't make an appearance again. And there's even been obviously tweets and mentions about Reece Williams when he's been brought back from a loan as well. I think it was Swansea, he wasn't doing that great. He's been brought back, but it throws it back to the season 2021 when we had Nat Phillips and Reece Williams at the back. It could even end up a situation like that, which I hope it doesn't. Matip's been on the bench the last couple of games, so I'm hoping he slots right in next to Gomez. But even then, you go through. We said in the last stream, you could do a 5-minute segment on every player. You don't know if he's going to go Milner at right back or Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think if he picks Milner one more time, I think you could almost put your money on it. There's a fallout between Trent and Klopp, because he cannot be at this stage of his career when he's 23, 24, heading towards his prime. He can't be playing second fiddle at right back to a 37-year-old midfielder. I mean, that's just a straight disrespect.
It is a disrespect, mate. 100%. I agree. Just quickly touching on the window again. Do you see the January window as notoriously like a harder market, like for Liverpool normally to go in? Because I thought Liverpool was sort of normally quite active in the January window. I know you bought Van Dijk in the January window, and that's the thing.
Suarez, Andy Carroll, Luis Diaz, Daniel Sturridge, Philippe Coutinho.
Exactly, and I think
all January.
This is it. And I think that's the thing. Like, so a lot of people view January as wait for the summer. You can't buy in January. But unless the player you definitively want isn't available, if you can get the player. Like, so for example, if you wanted Bellingham and there was a price to pay, say the price was 140 million, if you pay that price, you can have Bellingham. If you're going to pay it in the summer, why not pay it in January? Do you know what I mean? That's my only thought. Like, why do clubs do that? Why do clubs wait?
I think it is all to do with the movement of money. I think it's every club's financial year goes from whenever the day dot, and Liverpool's financial year might go from April to March. So the accounts end at the end of March.
Yeah.
So there might be a thing where it has to move into a next financial year. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but certainly in terms of Jude Bellingham, it's almost like a given that he's give his word, or his family has, because they're obviously advising him, we're going to give Dortmund one more year. They're not going to break that promise. And, your word is your bond. Or there could even be a release clause that no one knows about. If you want him now, it's 120, but secretly, if you wait till next summer, it's a release clause of 90 million. It's been reported there is no release clause, so I don't know. But it's all questions about what if. But it was never on the cards I was getting Bellingham. in January. But to answer your point about January, I said it back in December. I predicted this would be a mad January because of the World Cup. Clubs go mad after the World Cup, don't they? Players with their reputations and their values enhanced, and values enhanced in terms of selling as well. If your player has a good World Cup, I always remember Milan Barros was linked with Barcelona after he had a good Euros, I think it was. I think he was a top goal scorer in the Euros, so he was linked with Barcelona. I remember like, sell him, cash in, take it. He ended up leaving on a free, I think, a year later.
Did he?
Yeah. So, you know, after having a Winter World Cup, I knew that was going to be a game changer in terms of the market.
Yeah.
But obviously, Chelsea just blew everyone out of the water. I don't know if you've seen the reports. Apparently, the European leagues are going mad at the Premier League spending, saying that it's spending on steroids, and you know, you can almost smell the money washing, can't you? With sports washing, whatever it's called, that Chelsea are going through now. It's like Todd Bowley's trying to hide £1 billion under a mattress to get rid of it quick before the IRS catches up. I don't know what's going on, but it's distorting the market. And I know there's been banter about Man United distorting the market with high fees. I seen a graphic the other day. The top 10 Premier League spending, top 10, Man United are 5 of them. And they're all dead as well. You'll remember better than me, but it's like Harry Maguire, dead. Pogba, dead. Lukaku, dead. Anthony, so far, you might disagree, but so far, dead.
Yeah.
And then at the top of that, it's the new lad, Enzo Fernandez for Chelsea, that's just gone through. And second is Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is not setting the world alight. So if you actually look at the top 10, Liverpool have only got one in there, and it was Virgil van Dijk. And obviously, he's been a smash hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, to go back to Liverpool, I don't know. The fan base are going nuts. Our favourite guy, Indy Kaler, is it?
Indy Kaler, yeah.
He's in fact, I'm going to go now. He said that he's got an announcement to make that he's allowed to make on behalf of Liverpool.
Right.
And it's getting.
It's about the ownership or something, he said.
I don't know. I'm just reading it now. So my mates have just put it in my Liverpool group. Right. Exclusive. According to Liverpool sources, civil war is brewing between Liverpool principal owner John Henry and Reds chairman Tom Werner. Qatar-based investment fund have submitted a takeover offer for LFC, and Tom Werner wants to accept the offer, and John Henry is blocking the bid. Oh, it's Hicks and Gillette all over again. That's what he's trying to insinuate here.
Is that what the majority of the fan base want then? Do they want like sort of rich Arab owners to sort of take over? Is that what they're wanting?
The majority, if we word it right, the majority just want a takeover at any cost. We don't particularly want anyone from No, they want a full sale. They want a full takeover. It's not necessarily we want rich Arab owners. Anything we don't. From what I'm seeing, we don't care. FSG have bled us dry and have made it pretty clear they don't want to compete. They're not going to invest. They've took our self-sustained money, and instead of buying players, they've built a stand to increase their equity, to cash out with top dollar and disappear with 5 billion across the pond. So yeah, the fan base are going absolutely ballistic, and it's only going to be a buyout that saves us now. But anyway, we've done a poddy on that, so it's back to on the pitch. Wolves away on Saturday. I've looked at our next 5 fixtures. I don't know if you have, but it looks honking.
Who you got?
It's Wolves away, Everton at home, which anything could happen. New manager Sean Dyche hates Rafa Benitez. I was going to say Sean Dyche hates Jurgen Klopp, so he could set them up to frustrate us, and anything could happen. Then we've got Newcastle away. That's an L all day long. We've got Real Madrid away. No, sorry, home first. Then we've got Man United, who could easily turn us over. It's just, I feel like going to sleep and waiting until the start of March, middle of March.
Well, that's not an easy run with the way you're playing as well. And like you said, the players are quite low on confidence. I know you beat Wolves in the FA Cup replay.
That was a hollow victory, though. Wolves rested a few as well. But
team's going to be
on to Saturday. I'm not sure if any Liverpool fan can take another Harvey Elliott on the left, Gakpo in the middle, and Salah on the right with Nunez on the bench. I don't think anyone can take that. So I'm praying that's not the starting lineup. It wouldn't surprise me if it is, which means it'll be a midfield three for I think this will be the 4th game in a row. So when we talk about fallouts, if Henderson, who's fit, doesn't start on Saturday in favour of Naby Keita, who's leaving on a free, that'll be the 4th game that Naby Keita started in midfield with Bajcetic and Thiago. So if they start the 4th in a row, that is pretty much set as Klopp's favoured 3. And where that leaves Henderson and his attitude, or Fabinho's already gone. His head's gone. He tried to get sent off against Brighton. I'm 100% sure of it. I even shared it on TikTok, and I said it was disgusting. It was an awful challenge. It was an ankle breaker. He meant it. So I think he's already fell out with Klopp, and he was trying to make a point there. So I fully expect Bajcetic, the badge, to be starting games from now on. And I did say it when he played that great game against Wolves in the FA Cup replay. I come on this stream and said to you boys, that's it now. The badge, don't be surprised to see the badge starting a lot of games between now and the end of the season. And he has. I think he started the last 3. So who knows what's going to happen. He has done well. He's done really well. But so, yeah, there's no positive outlook for any Liverpool fans that are watching. I wish OB was here to give his score prediction, because I'm pretty sure he'd say this will be a turning point. This is the day our season turns around. But unfortunately, I'm not in that camp. I think, and I've said it again, I keep saying we've said it on a previous stream, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I'm going to predict another 2-1 loss for Liverpool. Honestly, I'm talking with my head here, not my heart. I cannot see it getting any better. Even with some positive pictures today that Van Dijk and Firmino are back in training. I don't know if they're in full training or they're up for consideration on Saturday. But it's encouraging just to see them on the training field, giving it the fingers up for the cameras. It was nice. Great to see, but I don't think they're going to make it for Saturday. But I'll see what Klopp's saying in his press conference tomorrow. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I don't think Jurgen Klopp's going to rush Van Dijk back before the Real Madrid game, because let's face it, you're going to have to put all your eggs in the Champions League basket. You know what I mean? I think the Real Madrid tie, you're not going to go in. You're going to go in as underdogs in that game due to the way that you're playing. But if you can produce one of those typical Liverpool European nights where you can just make a little bit of magic happen and scrape through, then you just never know. Like you said, you've seen stranger things happen. So I don't think he'll be rushing anyone back, and I think he'll prioritize that Real Madrid. He'll have sort of one eye on that game from now. I would think personally.
He's probably learned his lesson from Luis Diaz as well, isn't he? I mean, it's up for debate whether we tried to rush him back, and look how that's turned out. So, yeah, I imagine he would be wrapping Virgil and anyone in cotton wool.
Yeah, I think you've missed him massively in terms of his leadership, even if you're not missing in terms of the way he performs. Obviously, he's a fantastic player, and he has dropped off a little bit since the major injury, but not a great deal. Like, he has a little bit physically, but he's still a top player. And you're always going to miss a player like Van Dijk in terms of the effect that he has on everybody else around him. And you can see, as soon as he's not in the team, as good as people like Konate and Matip are as individuals, he is the glue. Do you know what I mean? He holds everything together, and he brings that calmness and that composure that you need in times of adversity without a shadow of a doubt. So I think him coming back is going to be so important for you. In terms of the game on Saturday, I want to say Liverpool win, but it just hasn't been happening for you. Like, I don't think you'll lose the game, but I wouldn't.
Really?
I don't think you will lose. Like,
so put your heart to one side and just think logically. We can't score any goals, Trav. We never look like scoring goals. We're away from home. We've got an experimental midfield, you could call it.
Yeah, I think you actually will win this game. Whether it's a turning point, I don't know, but I do actually think you'll win this game. I think I'm going to go for 2-1 Liverpool. I just think, like,
Really?
yeah, seriously. I
I've just
seriously
got
do. I'm
visions
not
of that Roy Keane gif. You know that one where he's
Yeah, where it's like,
really?
no, I know, I do. I think you'll win the game. I do. I think you'll win the game. I think you got to step up. Wolves aren't great at home. They've not been great at home. I know that they put up a lot of a big fight in games and stuff, and they'll keep going to the end. But I just fancy Liverpool. Just got a weird feeling for you.
The thing is with Wolves, and it happened in the FA Cup first game before the replay, the 2-2. Every team we play at the minute looks like Brazil. And it's every team that's struggling. Be it Leeds, Forest, Leicester, Wolves.
Well, if you don't win this game, then I fear for you.
You're gonna go in on the WhatsApp group.
Oh, mate, it'll be blowing up, mate. Just put the notifications on mute, mate. But honestly, if you don't, I'm being genuine. If you don't win this game, then flipping out, I do fear for you in the other games. Because, like you said, the Everton game's a derby. Then you've got us. We're in good form, to be fair. We're not going to be scared of going to Anfield because the Anfield atmosphere will just be tetchy in that game. Do you know what I mean? It will be. Yeah. There'll be a lot of nerves, and then if you got Real Madrid sandwiched in between that, it's just not going to be an easy February for you. And before you know it, it's March. This is a short month. Do you know what I mean? And then by that time, there's only a couple of months left of the season, and time's running out. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't say you can definitely forget top 4, but I just think with the way you're playing, it's just not a realistic target at the moment. You need to get some like sort of a good run under your belt where you get. Have you won 3 games in a row this year?
No. I'm struggling to even remember what we have won, Trav.
I don't think we won 3 in a row. I think we won 2 back to back.
Bournemouth.
Yeah. And then you beat Newcastle after. And I think
beat Newcastle. We've beat Leicester with 2 on goals. We beat Villa. We could have easily lost that game away to Villa. That might be our only away win of the season, to be honest. Honestly, I'm struggling. And I normally remember all our results all season. Well, I do. I remember all the defeats and all the draws. That's how bad it is.
Not been good. I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool. I really am. I'm just going to stick my neck out and say it. Not because I think you're playing well. I think Wolves are poor at home. Again, like there's been a little bit of an upturn, but I just think if you get the first goal, I think you can go on to win the game. But it's going to be, again, a little bit scrappy. But I don't think you care. Like you said, if it's scrappy and you win, you won't be bothered. Do you know what I mean? You'll just
don't care.
So
I just can't see any logic to you thinking we're going to win. And I don't want any Liverpool fans watching this think, oh, Scott's dead negative. But we've got defenders out injured. So you could even say our 3rd and 4th choice centre-backs. We've got an experimental midfield with a teenager at CDM, Naby Keita, who's running down his contract, can't wait to leave, and a misfiring front 3 that could easily be Elliott, Gakpo, and Salah again. So, but listen, I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I've got egg on my face because I love to be wrong when when Liverpool pick up 3 points. So let's see what happens. Trav, thank you for your time. Always appreciate it. Guys, if you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll all see you after the weekend's ball. We'll do a roundup probably on Monday to discuss everything that happened at the weekend. So we'll see you then. Trav, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.